Chapter 20. Connor and I ate lunch with Zion behind the office most days now. Connor still hardly ate anything, but he took a bite from time to time. Sometimes he'd spit his food, but he always tried to aim it at the brick wall. Every now and then, though, Zion and I would have to do some serious ninja blocks when a pretzel or grape flew at our heads. I sat with the boys on the sidewalk by the office as Zion said, "I think I might audition for the Wizard of Oz." He blushed so hard I could see the red coloring in his brown cheeks. "Oh yeah? What part?" I asked him. He shrugged. I don't know. I thought for a moment. "You would make a good lion." He frowned. "Because I'm fat?" "No, because you need to find your courage." I nudged him with my foot. "I'm only half serious." He smiled. "Have you guys ever done anything like that?" "What, audition for a play?" Connor asked. "Yeah." Connor looked at Zion like he was crazy. "Yeah, right," he said. I frowned at Connor. "You'd probably be a good actor," I said. "The only part I could ever play," Connor said to me, "would be the part of an annoying yappy dog." I didn't know what else to say about that. So I told them, "My school back in Kansas held this playwright contest in 6th grade. Anyone could submit their own ideas, plot, and script for a play. The winner got to have their play produced. I submitted the most awesome script of all time. Wait for it," I said dramatically. "Down and Dirty in Kansas City." Zion snorted, and a little of his juice box came out his nose. He wiped it away. "What was that about?" I cleared my throat. "Down and Dirty in Kansas City is a story of a completely awesome ninja named Harold who lives in Kansas City and fights criminals with the help of his trusty pig named Gerald. So Harold and Gerald are this crime-fighting duo who stop a gang of criminals from robbing a bank. They also fall in love. Not with each other, with a beautiful vixen lady and a lady pig. The play ends in a double wedding for Harold and Gerald and their partners." Connor giggled, and Zion choked on a little more juice box. "The climax of the play," I continued, "was supposed to be when Harold and Gerald finally face off with the main villain." I tossed my hair back. "Played by me. And the exciting battle to the death ends in Harold and Gerald ripping my arms off and blood splattering everywhere as I dropped dead to the floor. I had thought we could borrow those fake arms again from Emily's mom." "Did you win?" Zion asked. "I totally didn't win. Plus, we had to have a meeting with my parents. They had read my play already and thought it rocked, so they were a little confused about the whole thing. I tuned out most of the meeting, but I believe the words gruesome and horrifying may have been said. Anyway, this kid named Luke won the contest. His play was called Desert Moon Over the Desert. I found the title a little redundant, but I guess the judges thought his work was spectacularly creative. What can you expect from the same people who thought Down and Dirty in Kansas City was a stinker?" "Really," Connor agreed. "What was his play about?" Desert Moon Over the Desert was about a moon, seriously, that looks down over the desert, I'm not kidding, and falls in love with a coyote. I'm totally serious. And the coyote falls in love with the moon. Of course, the moon and the coyote can never be together, so the coyote howls and eventually befriends a cactus, and everything turns out all right." "Were you in it?" Zion asked. "Yeah, I play the cactus. My costume was this drab green, so I wasn't bright enough on stage. We had to spray paint the whole thing down with sparkle spray paint. We had this giant paper moon on stage with lights behind it, so I was all sparkly and shiny from the light of the moon. It was pretty cool. I loved being up on stage, but I had the most ridiculous lines. I still remember them. I recited my lines just as I had done in the play. 'Coyote, the moon is many miles away, but I am here on earth with you. Coyote, my new friend, don't prick yourself on my needles when you give me a friendly hug. Coyote, if you were ever thirsting to death, I would give my life that you may drink my treasured cactus juice.'" Zion giggled. "That's awful." "I'm sure you'll have way better lines than the Wizard of Oz," I said. "Gosh, I hope so." "No, really, you'll love it." When the play ended and everyone clapped and cheered for us, I felt like I could do anything. I even thought maybe I could have a career as an actress. "Why couldn't you?" Connor asked. I gaped at the boys. How many limbless movie stars do you know? Neither one of them said anything. I shook my head and looked at Connor. By the way, Mom said I could come home with you after school, and she'd pick me up before dinner. Really? His face brightened. I thought you weren't allowed to go to anyone's house where they didn't know the parents. My mom said it's okay since she knows you, and your mom works so much and sleeps in the evening. I guess my mom can't really get a good chance to meet her with all that's going on. She's going to be home after school, right? Connor shrugged and barked. Yeah, she'll be home, sleeping. She worked a 12-hour shift last night. Has she ever thought about trying to get shifts during the day? I asked. She has to take what she can right now, Connor said, and this job pays well. He looked at Zion. You want to come over too? Zion shook his head. Dentist appointment. He grimaced. The next support group meeting is coming up, I told Connor. Support group meeting? Zion asked. Connor grinned. Don't you mean social event, Avon? I glared at Connor while I spoke to Zion. It's just a little group that meets up in the hospital every month. Sorry, Zion, Connor said. For freaks only. Hey, I cried. No one there's a freak, especially not you. Connor blinked his eyes, shrugged, and barked. If you say so, Avon. I let out a loud breath. Anyway, my mom's already planning on taking us. Connor raised his eyebrows. Such peer pressure. I guess I'd have to go in that case. Yes, you do. Chapter 21. Connor led me into the small 2-bedroom apartment he shared with his mom. I scanned the room and noted the sparse furnishings. A 3-person couch, a small coffee table, side table, and lamp. No pictures hung on the walls, and I saw a couple of unopened boxes stacked in one corner. How long have you two been here again? I asked. A little over a year, Connor said. I know, Mom works a lot and hasn't had a whole lot of time to decorate or anything. Plus, we hope we aren't going to be here forever. I tried not to look too sad for Connor when I told him I hope so too. Connor barked as we unloaded our bags onto the small kitchen table. It only had 2 chairs. Just then, a bedraggled-looking blonde woman, wearing a nightgown and a robe, emerged from the small hallway. You home, baby? She said. Then she noticed me. She looked both surprised and embarrassed as she pulled her robe closed and tightened the belt. Oh, she breathed. You brought a friend home. Mom, this is Avon. She glanced briefly at my torso. Hi, Avon. I'm sorry I'm not more presentable for you. That's okay, I said, trying to ease her embarrassment. Connor told me you had to work all night. She gazed at Connor. Yeah, I was just coming out to tell him there's a bowl of macaroni and cheese in the fridge for him to heat up for dinner. I'm sorry I don't have more. Oh, no, that's okay, I said before she could finish. Mom, Avon just came over for a couple of hours to play video games. Her mom will be picking her up before dinner. Connor's mom looked so embarrassed about the situation that I felt bad Connor hadn't been able to give her some kind of warning about me coming over. I'm sorry for the surprise, Mrs. Bradley. I'm happy to finally meet you. I'm happy to meet you too, Avon. It's nice to see Connor with a friend. Perhaps you can come over again on another day when I'm a little bit more like myself. Oh, yeah, I'd love to. I don't know what got into me, but then I said to her, and maybe you can come to the next Tourette's support meeting with us. Connor jerked his head at me, and I immediately realized she knew nothing about it, something I think I had already suspected. Her eyes were large with surprise. Tourette's support meeting? She said slowly. Connor shrugged his shoulders. Yeah, Avon and I went to a support meeting one day while you were working. Connor, I wish you would tell me about these things. Her eyebrows furrowed together. How did you get there? Avon's mom drove us. Don't worry, I said, noticing the look of concern on her face. We're not like a psycho family or anything. We're totally normal, except for, I motioned toward my shoulders with my hand. But my parents had nothing to do with that. She gave me a tired smile. I'm sure your family is lovely. She turned her attention back to Connor. I'm just happy you're going to a support group, baby. Just when Avon's mom comes to pick her up, I'd like to meet her, please. Connor nodded. She went to him and kissed the top of his head. I'm going back to sleep. Could you wake me up in a little bit so I can make myself more presentable? Connor nodded again. Then she walked back down the small hallway and disappeared into the dark bedroom. I turned to Connor. Your mom's so nice. I don't know why. He cut me off. I wish you hadn't told her about the support group. She doesn't have time to go, and now she'll just feel bad about it. Why don't you at least give her a chance to decide what she wants to do? She doesn't need any more stress than she already has, he said. I don't think the support group would stress her out. I'm sure she's more stressed out about not knowing what's going on with you. She's better off without having to deal with me. I suddenly saw things so clearly. It wasn't at all that Connor's mom couldn't stand him, as he had said. It was that Connor couldn't stand himself. He blamed himself for all of his mom's problems. His dad leaving, this tiny apartment, her hectic work schedule. I knew he felt it was all his fault, but from what I'd seen, I strongly doubted she felt the same way. Connor, she's your mom. She doesn't deal with you. She loves you. Why don't you let her? Why are you always trying to fix me? Connor snapped. Why don't you just be my friend, Aiden? I don't need to be fixed. I don't want to fix you, I said. I don't think you're broken or anything. I just want to help you. Friends help each other, don't they? I'd rather you just play video games with me. That's how you can help me. I lowered my eyes and ran my rainbow-striped flat over the dingy carpet. Okay, I said, but I won't stop going to the meetings. You can come with if you want. I shrugged. Whatever, I don't care. Connor's face softened, and he grinned. Yeah, you do. And yeah, I'll come.